On this episode of Lapeef, Let's Talk,
are generally the loudest people in the room. It's almost like a review on a restaurant. If you go to a restaurant and the restaurant is just stellar and it's awesome and you had a great time, you might tell your friends or something like that. But generally, unless the restaurant asks you to leave a review if you had a great experience, what happens is you just go about your day and you just have a good time. So the people that's married successfully, and I know so many people that's been tapped in with me, and they like, Anton, I'm glad that you're around because I couldn't find a platform where people wasn't complaining about what was going on in society. And we having a great time. I got married early like you, and they have so many similar stories of me. Whereas if you have a bad experience at a restaurant, you're gonna tell your homegirl, you're probably gonna go viral, you're gonna probably pick up the phone and record a video about it, you're gonna pick up the camera and record the situation. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna go and leave a review. You're more likely to leave a review or get vocal about something that you don't like versus the people that are living in it successfully, and they tend to be a little bit more quiet. 50 philosophy, which you only get a minimal amount of benefit that comes along with it. When you put halfway into anything, you only gonna get less than halfway as far as the results you get out of it. I think that when you do marriage the right way, that men ultimately benefit from marriage. And Amira actually took the words out of my mouth when the idea that you had to go hunt for a wife or you had to qualify yourself for a wife and all of these other types of things. It's easy. The financial aspect of it, let's just tackle that, right? The financial part of it is very easy if you even want to talk about a divorce or alimony or any of that, because I will say that me having a wife has significantly multiplied what it is that I've brought to that I've been able to bring in as far as resources. Without my wife, without the mining, even this month alone, this last November, her stopping school and then coming to work for me has more than tripled the revenue that we was able to bring in my own businesses. And so it's if I don't care nothing about paying her half or the money or anything like that. I've already pledged to make sure that my chick is taken care of for the rest of her life, no matter what it is that she did, because she absolutely earned it. So it depends on the context. But from my perspective, I think that men significantly benefit more from marriage because I'm healthier. Without her is no way that I would ever be able to grind the way that I grind and then be able to have successfully raised our daughter in the way that we have. She oversees every single aspect of my life. She makes sure I'm on point. She makes sure I'm a better person, even spiritually. And that's one of the things that I lean into the most, right? Is my spiritual being, because I think that money is easy to get when you're doing things a certain type of way. The money come with the way that you move and if you're successful in a lot of other areas in your life. Spiritually, she absolutely make me a better person. If it wasn't for her, even on a one-on-one basis, as far as my interactions with certain people throughout my life and in the streets, I would probably be in jail if it wasn't for her, honestly. So I have to speak from that perspective as a married man. I think that when you do it a certain type of way, men significantly benefit from marriage more than women.
All right. Kayla, who benefits more from marriage, women or men?
My personal opinion is that the children benefit the most from marriage. But since we've given us a particular context, I would say that men benefit more from marriage. Starting off with like the financial component of it, this traditional, being a traditional marriage, we talk about that a lot, but the reality of the situation is that this is a modern world and most marriages are modern. Most marriages, the women are working and their income is necessary for the household. So when you think about it like that, and then you think about all the things that women, along with working, do, like providing the things that adults do for themselves every day, which is like cooking for yourself, cleaning for yourself, doing your own laundry, doing your own errands, doing your own everything, versus when you're bringing someone in the situation who can assist and do those things. So when you come home, there's already food. You don't have to pay to eat out. You don't have to pay to do a lot of things that your wife can do for you at home. So economically, I think that men benefit the most for sure. And then from a larger perspective, I still think men benefit more just because of the control. I mean, if you're in a healthy marriage anyway, I feel like you are the one that makes the decisions here. So while you get to have the, you take the losses as that come along with it, you also take the victories that come along with it. So it goes in the direction that you want to go. So if it doesn't work, whose fault is it? It's yours. So I think they benefit the most, especially if it goes well for you. And like Anton said, you're able to put things in place that'll help you benefit, and you're able to run your family in a way that'll help you benefit even more. I think that just is another testament to how it benefits men, along with the fact that the children are their legacy and get their name and carry, it's seen that it carried their lineage, although it's the woman's as well, but it's seen that they carry the male lineage on. So I think it's men for sure. But ultimately, in my personal opinion, in our community, I think the children would benefit more if more of these children were born into marriages versus not, which is about 65% of the community. So, yeah.
All right. Rella, who benefits more from marriage, women or men?
You saying me or Q? I went first.
You went
Oh,
first.
yeah, I'm sorry, Q.
Oh, it's me. Honestly, I don't see men benefiting more in modern relationships, like Kayla said. I'm thinking more in a traditional aspect. I think women would definitely benefit more, traditional ways, because not only money, but kids wise and anything of that nature. Because let's say something happens, it falls back on the husband paying child support. So I'm not thinking just marriage. I'm thinking about, let's say something goes left, or divorce, or anything of that nature. But traditional wise, I think women are definitely benefiting more. But then Anton made me look at it a different way, how marriage should work, right? So it really just depends on how your relationship in your marriage is set up, who would benefit more in this sort of stance, if that makes sense, I feel. But yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. I mean, it's pretty interesting, because I think a lot of people tend to look at things from like a glass half empty perspective, just in society in general. People are genuinely skeptical. Like most times, they're always looking at, well, what can go wrong? And I've never been that type of person. I've always looked at it from a what can go right perspective. And so a lot of people that lose are generally the loudest people in the room. It's almost like a review on a restaurant. If you go to a restaurant and the restaurant is just stellar and it's awesome and you had a great time, you might tell your friends or something like that. But generally, unless the restaurant asks you to leave a review if you had a great experience, what happens is you just go about your day and you just have a good time. So the people that's married successfully, and I know so many people that's been tapped in with me, and they like, Anton, I'm glad that you're around, because I couldn't find a platform where people wasn't complaining about what was going on in society, and we having a great time. I got married early like you, and they have so many similar stories than me. Whereas if you have a bad experience at a restaurant, you're going to tell your homegirl, you're probably going to go viral. You're going to probably pick up the phone and record a video about it. You're going to pick up the camera and record the situation. You know what I'm saying? You're going to go and leave a review. You're more likely to leave a review or get vocal about something that you don't like, versus the people that are living in it successfully, and they tend to be a little bit more quiet.